and Mel here from adventuresofmel.com.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And tonight we're gonna try making. We already tried and it was almost a flop, but we're gonna try it again and we're gonna try making Instant Pot strawberry swirl cheesecake. And it smells really good and it tastes really good. It just doesn't look very pretty right now because I think we kind of need to adjust our recipe a little bit. But we're gonna try it again with you guys, and then yeah, and we'll list the ingredients after we post the recipe. And I'm a little hoarse. We've been sick this week, so Dan may fill in for me because I may not be able to talk the entire time. But okay, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna be doing the filling, and Dan's gonna take care of the crust. So we'll kind of go back and forth and tell you what we're doing as we go along. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments and we'll answer them as we go.
So we have a 6-quart Instant Pot pressure cooker. So we went out and we bought an 8-inch springform pan. The 8-inch springform pan doesn't fit quite as well in the 6-quart, so I had to run back to Hobby Lobby. Has a 6-inch springform pan that's 3 inches tall that works really good. You see, I've already pulled it apart and I put some parchment paper in the bottom. This last one I cooked, it was kind of hard to get the bottom of the cheesecake out. So it kind of has a kind of recessed in the bottom. So
there goes the clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start by putting 2 packages of cream cheese into my mixing bowl.
So I'm going to work on the graham cracker crust. So I've got 8 whole full-size graham crackers here. And then I'm going to put 5 tablespoons of butter into that crust once I get them crushed up. So I use a rolling pin that works really well. Just crunch this up to whatever consistency you would like. I'm not seeing any people are commenting.
Strange. No, they're not. That's just saying that we're live. It's not comments.
I thought that looked like comments.
I think it's because we started too late. Oh, I see a couple people now. There's a couple people there lurking.
It's showing up. All right. So if you're watching, give us a comment, tell us where you're from, and we'll talk with you a little bit.
So along with the cream cheese, I am going to throw in about 6 tablespoons of sugar.
In to melt.
Okay. And then along with the sugar, I'm going to throw in a teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, Nina's here. Hey, Nina. Ingredient to give it an extra kick is a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract.
So you can see the consistency here that I got to.
Got just a bit much in there. Oh.
So 5 tablespoons of butter melted, and I use salted butter. Doesn't really make a difference in what you use, but then you just want to mix it up real good to form your crust.
So I'm just going to cream together the cream cheese, the sugar, the vanilla, and the almond extract. And then while that's doing that, going to get my eggs ready, and I'm going to use 2 egg yolks. And I'm just going to use the yolks to give it more of a, what did I say earlier? I can't even remember. I can't think of anything. We've been sick this week, and my brain is just mud. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm using egg yolks for a reason. I just can't remember the reason right now.
The yolks will make it a little stiffer.
Yeah, yes. It stiffens it up a bit and it makes it creamier. Thank you. That works.
I remembered something.
Oh. Now if I can just keep her.
The next step you want to do is take your pan. I am going to give it just a light spray. And then just put your crust into the bottom of it. Hey Rachel.
Hi Rachel.
The one we made earlier tastes really good. You'll get to see it in a minute. It doesn't look the greatest. But so hopefully we'll be able to give you some pointers on what not to do. So, got my crust packed down inside there. And the next thing you want to do is put this in the freezer to harden up the crust until you're ready to put your batter in it.
Alright. So that's ready. Alright, so just gonna mix this up good.
There we go. Is there anything else that needs to go in it?
No. That's it. Just mix it together good.
I'll let you have it.
Okay.
So,
It's pretty sticky when it gets done. It's not really, you're going to have to spoon it into your crust. Now earlier we used 3 egg yolks, and I think it was a bit much because it didn't want to set up all the way. It did set up eventually, but it's still not quite right. And I think we did too many eggs. So we are going to try it with 2 eggs.
hey, Tim is back with us. And Kristen. Hey Tim. Hey Kristen.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. And there's Robin. Hey Robin. So I'm going to set my pot up on this next one. I'm going to actually set it 40 minutes. I've seen different recipes that say 25. I've seen recipes that say 45. We cooked our first one for 35 minutes, and it did not set up all the way. So we ended up putting it back on for about another 20. So you'll just have to check it and maybe put it back in. And it may have been done. It was just still a little, didn't look like it was fully set in the middle, but cheesecake doesn't usually set until it cools off a little bit either. So inside my Instant Pot, I got my, can't remember the name right now, used to raise it up, plate setter I guess maybe. And I've got about a cup to a cup and a half of water in the bottom. So we'll let that start up and get warm here.
into the crust, or on top of the crust, however say it. And it's pretty stiff, but I think it'll be really good. You just kind of spread it around on top of your crust and smooth it out real good. You'll have to get the extra, there'll be a bunch on your spatula. And then to get the strawberry swirl, we could have used just strawberries and made a little syrup. But instead, I went the easy route this time, and I'm going to use strawberry preserves or strawberry jam. So I'm just going to spoon little, like probably teaspoonfuls around on the top of the cheesecake.
Another thing that I've seen a lot of different people doing is creating a little sling to pull your springform pan out when it's hot. So, and I just took a piece of aluminum foil, folded it into a long rectangle, just make it fit, and you can set that down inside on top of your plate holder. And then you set your pan down inside there.
Okay, so once you have little dots of jam all over the top, then you're just going to take a knife and swirl it around on the top of your cheesecake dough. I try to be artistic with my swirls, but I'm not sure how artistic I really am. It's kind of more of a mess of strawberry and cream cheese, but I guess it's all going to go the same place anyway, so it doesn't really matter as long as it tastes good.
Up so they can see a little
Yeah.
easier. So you can see her beautiful masterpiece. So your next step after you get it swirled in as good as you want is you want to take and cover it with foil. So this will keep the water from the steam and from dripping down inside of it. So I've seen other people sometimes leave them uncovered and they just pat the top dry, but I'd rather not have to do that, so use the foil.
Okay.
So there we are, cheesecake in a pan.
And it's just the right size for a small family.
So as you can see, this little sling works pretty good to put it in and out. So we got it running good, nice and hot. I said I've got it set on for 40 minutes. So I'm going to put my lid on and lock it. And I'm going to actually set this out of the way.
Don't laugh at our cheesecake because it does taste good. It just, this one doesn't look as pretty.
This is what you don't want it to look like. But, hey Nancy.
Maybe we should try not procrastinating as much next time and make it before the day of the video. And of course the fresh strawberries, you can serve those with it. And I had the idea to even drizzle chocolate over the top. I'll get forks.
So, even though it's a little weird looking and a little flat, you can still see it's got a nice small little crust on it. So I lost a little bit of the crust with that pan. So, but it's still a cheesecake and it still tastes good.
I need to try it. Mmm.
It's nice and creamy. It's got a nice, it's not a very rich taste to it with the amount of sugar she put in, but
it's kind of like And a piece of New York cheesecake you get in a restaurant.
Yep, it tastes very much, that's the consistency of a nice New York cheesecake. So, but it doesn't look the greatest, but it sure does taste good.
I think with the one less egg in our new one, I think it'll do a little better. But okay, so next week we'll be back. Why don't you tell them, because I'm about to.
What were we gonna make?
Do you want to make chicken salad? Our chicken salad with dill pickles?
We can make chicken salad.
Okay.
That works fine.
Okay.
So, one more thing before we get off of here. When you do pull your pan out of the pressure cooker, you can just go ahead and let it sit for 10-15 minutes on your counter, and then move it into your fridge. You'll probably want it to sit for a good 2 to 3 hours. You just watch it till you think that it'll come off easily, but you want it to cool down nice and good so that you can pull it apart. So next week I'll show you how to make my chicken salad. So I come up with a new recipe of how to make it a couple weeks ago, and everyone just has loved it, that has tasted it. So it's a little different from most chicken salads, but it tastes very good.
And it has a secret ingredient.
So, yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Hey, we should post a picture of that cheesecake later and let them know how it turned out. We'll do that.
Yeah. And if you guys try it at home, take a picture and come back to the post, or just come, send it to us through Facebook, through Messenger, or post it back on this post if you want. So, but let us see what happened to you. Give us some tips and tricks, what you found to be a little better. Or if you have questions, feel free to come back and comment to us. So, hope you guys have a good evening. So until next time, we'll have chicken salad ready for you, and hope you enjoy. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.